So it's 2 hours left until the deadline. At least that's what it says in the official app. So last summer we actually had a surprise. So the deadline was actually 1 hour earlier than expected. We might see this again, so it might actually only be 1 hour until the deadline. So make sure to have your team close to locked in when it's 1 hour left until kickoff. So this will be my team. I might actually have to change my goalkeeper. It's kind of sad seeing Crepeur. He's getting really close to 5%. Elvedi is on 4. Sabitzer, hopefully he can stay below 5%. Vargas 4.2. I have to monitor him as well. And we have Suarez 2.5 at the moment. So Irish Pit Terrier, thanks for joining in. 12th man active. Luis Diaz, 12th man. Nice. Could be a really good punt. So what I actually like when playing my 12th man is to maximize the value as well. So selecting one of the most expensive players in the game on Erling Haaland. But of course, Luis Diaz, he can easily outscore Erling Haaland. Really good fixture for Colombia. So I actually have a double up on Colombia with their goalkeeper Vargas and Suarez up front. So I might actually have to make a couple of transfers before the deadline. It might be a bit more job to do in comparison to what I thought yesterday. So my goalkeeper Crepeur, I might have to change him. Elvedi, if he's getting up to 4.5, I'll probably change him as well. And what will happen with Nuno Mendes? So Nuno Mendes, he was rested yesterday, came in at halftime, but he couldn't complete the 45 minutes. So there are some injury doubts around Nuno Mendes as well. So let's have a look. Rocher Vargas, Chufal, I think he's really good value, 3.7. What I don't really like is the fact that Czechia, are they really that good? I'm not sure, but Rierson, Munoz, Mendes, Kimmich, in midfield Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, Rafinha, Ulis, Mansambi, Erling Haaland, Mbappe, Semenyo, and we have Luis Diaz as the 12th man. Yeah, solid team. I'm not really sure about Rocher, to be honest. I actually had Rocher in my own team, but I changed him yesterday to bring in Vargas. The reason for this is the fact that there are some rumors about Muslera being the #1 goalkeeper for Uruguay. So not really sure about Rocher, to be honest. Will he start Rocher? The thing is that I'm not really sure, to be honest. So Uruguay, they haven't had that many friendlies. They have changed a lot during the qualification to this competition. They have changed their goalkeeper. They have changed a lot in defense as well. So we're not really sure who is nailed on in the Uruguay defense. So yesterday I would have said Crepeur. I might have to look for another goalkeeper myself. Crepeur, he is 4.9 at the moment, so So should I just go for Crepe even though he's selected by more than 5%? It's kind of annoying. When I selected Crepe as my goalkeeper, it was only like 0.5%, but at the moment 4.9, and I think that he will go above 5% before the deadline. So let's have a look at goalkeepers. So I think if I sell Crepe, I'm tempted by Rangel, the Mexican goalkeeper. He will play tonight. This will give an active player in the opening fixture as well, but let's have a look at his ownership. So Rangel, 3.9. Crepe. Ooh, Rangel, he is 4.9 as well. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. So there are some really good options, Crepe, Galindez, Rangel, but they are actually really close to 5% at the moment, so I think I would stay away. Maybe Verbruggen. But will he... So Nyland, he will definitely start. The thing is that we're not really sure who will start for Scotland as well. Gordon. Will it be Angus Gunn? So if I go for Bruggen, this will give me... So the things that Verbruggen, I think he is a decent option playing for a really good team, Netherlands, but Verbruggen had a slight knock as well. Rangel might be out, but finding a 5% goalkeeper is hard at the moment. So yesterday this was easier. We had Rangel, we had Crepe, Canadian goalkeeper, but there are a lot of FPL managers locking in their team, selecting those guys, so they're getting really, really close to 5%. So I actually have a goalkeeper problem. I was locked in on Crepe, but he's been brought in by a lot of managers today, and his ownership is getting really close to 5%. So at the moment, I'm actually looking for another goalkeeper. So it's 1 hour and 50 minutes. I will definitely have my team locked in 1 hour before kickoff. So in the Club World Cup Fantasy, we actually had the same issue. The game actually locked in 1 hour earlier than we expected last summer. So I will definitely sort my team out within 50 minutes. Football and stuff. Should I sell James Rodriguez for Doué in case he's going to go above 5% owned? Plus, I'll get the Iraq fixture. So I have actually checked a couple of predicted France lineups. So Doué, he is predicted to start. So yes, why not? Considering the fact that James Rodriguez will most probably go above 5%. Sticking with Rocher, F it, yeah. So I think there are some really good options like Rocher playing for a solid team. He might play, of course, he's in most of the predicted lineups, but the thing is that there are some rumors about Muslera starting ahead of Rocher. So Canada, they have some really good fixtures. I might just stick with Crepeur, to be honest, even though he will go above 5%. Broadster, hey, thanks for joining in. I think rest of my under 5 players are in solid range. Second highest is 3.3. I think at this point, considering that 1 hour 48 minutes left, I think that 3.3% is good enough of a margin to stay below 5%. But at the moment, my goalkeeper, Crepeur. So one of the reasons why I wanted him was, of course, the price, the fixtures for Canada, but also the fact that he was well below 5%. But at the moment, I think he will reach 5%. So I will at least have a plan B when it comes to my goalkeeper. So Verbruggen could be an option, but I don't really like the fixtures for the Netherlands playing against Japan and Sweden in match day 1 and match day 2. Maybe I should just double up on the Spain defense. I only have 2 Spain defenders, so I can actually afford Unai Simon. Kind of boring pick. I think he will get like 6 points and nothing more. So let's have a look who will play first. So Unai Simon playing on the 15th of June and have Vargas at the 18th. So I think Simon will get 6 points, but will I twist Simon and his 6 points to go for Vargas? Not really sure about that. Maybe I should just go for Rocher. Hope that he plays, and I will have Vargas as my backup goalkeeper. I actually think this is... Just hope that Rocher will play for Uruguay, and if not, I will have Vargas on the 18th of June. Maybe this is the play at the moment. So, there aren't that many goalkeepers I'm interested in at the moment on this list, so I think I will just go Rocher and Vargas. And this was, it's kind of funny because this was actually the goalkeeper combination I had in my first drafts. Mbappe next week for Messi with 0.5 in the bank, then wildcard in match day 3. So Mbappe out to bring in Messi. I have actually considered to sell him to bring in... Thing is that you can't really sell Mbappe next game week, right? Because they have Iraq. So yeah, you're probably starting with Messi. Sorry about that. I'll have a double France attack for match day 2, and I'll do Erling Haaland to Igor Thiago if he starts. If not, Enner Valencia, then Sané to Vini for match day 2. So my set up well to target France versus Iraq and Brazil versus Haiti. Yeah, definitely makes sense targeting those fixtures. I will do something similar. So at the moment, I have a double up on France already. Ulis is in, Mbappe is in up front. So I don't have any Brazil players at the moment, but my plan is to sell Sabitzer and bring in Rafinha. I might bring in another Brazil player in defense as well. Other way around, Messi out for Mbappe. I would rather play the 12th man on Kai Havertz rather than Ulis. So I think Kai Havertz is a really good option this game week, to be honest. I have had a draft with Kai Havertz in, so I definitely think that he is a good pick. But the thing is that you can't really have them all, right? So you have to let someone go, and I think Kai Havertz is a player I really like, but can't really fit into my team at the moment. So I have a triple up on Germany with Kimmich, Florian Wirtz, and Musiala. The thing is that I like Suarez up front, owner price at 5.7, and this lets me upgrade in other areas of my team. I wanted Igor real bad, but not sure if he is the starter. I kind of agree. If we knew that Igor Thiago would start up front, play 90 minutes as Brazil's number 9, I think he would be in a lot of teams. But I think Rafinha is another really good replacement if you want to cover the Brazil attack, considering the fact that he is on most set pieces for Brazil as well. So Neymar will probably take their penalties, but I'm not expecting Neymar to get good minutes in this competition. Comedy Addict, is your team a 12-man Erling Haaland team? Yes, let's get my team up. This is my team at the moment. I will change my captain to Elvedi, and we are all set. Oops. Gondio, when are you using the 12th man? I can't decide. I think the 12th man is locked in for me at Erling Haaland at the moment. So the reason for this is the fact that I think that he will have a really good game in match day 1. I don't really like Norway's fixture in match day 2 and match day 3. So playing the chip on Erling Haaland makes sense. So my 12th man is active. It will be Erling Haaland against Iraq. So at the moment, this is my team. I have made a couple of changes. I have actually sold Crepeur, the Canadian goalkeeper, brought in Rocher. I actually started my first team when I created my first team. When the game launched, I actually had Rocher, Vargas. I have changed this a couple of times since my first draft, but they are both back. So Rocher, Vargas. The reason why I went for Rocher is the fact that Crepeur, the Canadian goalkeeper, he is getting really close to 5%. So I don't really think that he will get scouting bonus. There we go. With me already having him on my team, so I switch him with other striker and use that chip on him instead. I think it's better to start with Mbappé and go for Erling Haaland as your 12th man. So France, they are a better team compared to Norway, so I would rather have France players playing against Senegal rather than Norwegian players playing against Senegal. So that's my reasoning for going with Mbappé in my team and Erling Haaland as my 12th man. So another really good option this game week for the 12th man is Kai Havertz as well. And I think that if you don't want to use the chip this game week, going for Vinicius Jr. in matchday 2 makes sense as well. Virat Kohli, can you check my team? I don't have many differentials, so let's have a look at Virat Kohli's team. So if you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to X, post a picture under my latest post, and we'll get your team up on the screen.
Se godt etter og finn.
So hopefully that's okay. Thanks. So question for $1 million. Havertz in matchday 1 or Vinicius Jr. for matchday 2? So Germany, they are the biggest favorites to score more goals compared to Brazil. So Germany in matchday 1, they have better odds compared to Brazil in matchday 2. So probably Kai Havertz. So, but on the other hand, what I really like about the 12th man is to buy a really expensive player. So Kai Havertz is probably a bit too cheap to use the 12th man on him. So I'm actually leaning towards Vinicius Jr. in matchday 2. I have changed Luis to curbs and take James. I have not much scouting thing. So let's have a look at your team. Let's give this a look. So this is Virat Kohli's team. Erling Haaland as the 12th man. Rangel Ingol, I would check his ownership. Will he go past 5%? I think he will. Kukurea, Rierson, Kimmich, solid options. Rafinha is in midfield. Musiala captain. Jeremy Doku and Bruno Fernandes up front. Mbappe, Cristiano, and Oyarzabal. Nilan, solid differential on the bench. Nuno Mendes, Mujica, and James Rodriguez. So a lot of interesting picks in this team. What I don't like is the fact that you have a lot of players that's really, really close to go above 5%. We have Rangel, the goalkeeper. Mujica and James Rodriguez, both of your Colombian players, are actually close to 5% as well. Is Nuno Mendes injured? So there is kind of a worry when it comes to Nuno Mendes because he came in at halftime yesterday and he couldn't complete the 45 minutes. But the reports are that this was only precautionary, and in Portugal they don't play until the 17th of June, so still 6 days until Portugal will have their first game. So I think that he will be fine. So I think just going for Nuno Mendes is a good option at the moment. And one of the reasons is that we will be able to see the Portugal starting 11 before the game. So if Nuno Mendes doesn't start, you can just keep him on on your bench. Can you suggest cheap goalkeeper with scouting bonus and defenders? So what I did yesterday was to sell Mujica. I brought in the Ecuador defender. Let's see. I think Ordonez is another good option. Let's have a look at his ownership at the moment. Only selected by 1.9, so going from Mujica to Joel Ordonez could be a really good idea. Switzerland, they have a couple of good options in defense. Elvedi, Widmer is another option, both nailed on to start. My goalkeeper recommendation is Sergio Rocher and Vargas. Both of them selected by 4.2, and I think they will stay below 5%. So Rocher, Vargas, Ordonez, Elvedi, Widmer. There are still some really good options in defense. I like Davinson Sanchez as well, if you want a Colombian defender. Let's have a look at his ownership. Davinson Sanchez, let's see, yeah, only selected by 1.3, so definitely one to consider, especially if you don't have any other Colombian defenders. Thoughts on Doku's slight injury concern during training? So there are some like reports when it comes to injuries, but I think when they say they are mainly precautionary because the World Cup is coming up, so I don't really think they will risk it. So I think the same goes for Nuno Mendes. He was subbed off yesterday in the second half, and they said it was precautionary, and I actually believe that it was. Estepinian is another option. Vargas. Empty 420. It was nothing, referring to the Nuno Mendes injuries. Probably the Nuno Mendes substitution yesterday was precautionary, and the good thing, if you have Nuno Mendes, he will probably be on your bench because Portugal, they are playing really late, and we will get the Portugal starting 11 before the game. So if Nuno Mendes starts, sub him in. If Nuno Mendes is on the bench or not in the squad, just keep him on your bench. But if you want a defender, I think Colombia is a really good team to target, especially if you're going for the matchday 3 wildcard tactic. So Davinson Sanchez, if you have Mujica, he will most probably go above 5%, but Davinson Sanchez is only selected by 1.3. So Doku is fit, but he was no option for my under 5% team. So do we actually have a team with only players below 5%? Show us the team. Estepinian, I think Estepinian is a solid option. Let's have a look at his ownership as well. Estepinian, he is selected by 2.7. A bit more expensive though, 4.8. I think I would actually go Ordonez instead of Purvis Estepinian. Hey, I posted my team on Twitter, Rather Dead. Great, let's have a look. So if you're interested, head over to X, post a picture of your team, and we'll get it up on the screen. Please make sure to give the stream a like if you haven't done so already. That will be really, really helpful and help the reach of this stream. So if you haven't done so, please consider giving the stream a like. Let's see. XXX, there we are. Hey TFS, here's my current squad from Red or Dead. So at first glance, there are a couple of players I really like in this team. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. So Rangel, I actually really like Rangel, but the problem is that he's getting really close to 5%. I have a feeling he will go above 5% before the deadline. So Kimmich, a solid pick. Elvedi, 4.1. He was 3.5 yesterday, so his ownership is going up as well. Serginho Dest, I actually talked about him yesterday. Really solid option in defense. Oliveira could be a really good player playing for a solid defensive team, but will he definitely start? I'm not sure. He probably will, but the thing is that when it comes to Uruguay, we're not 100% sure about their goalkeeper situation and defenders. In midfield, Florian Wirtz, Ulis, Rafinha, all really good options. Up front, Oyarzabal, Kylian Mbappe, and Erling Haaland. On the bench, Bruno Fernandes, Mujica, and James Rodriguez. So I think I would actually go for another goalkeeper and Mujica out as well. So maybe you can go for Vargas in goal and pick like Vasquez. You will still cover the Mexican and Colombian defense, but both of your players will be eligible for the scouting bonus. So with this team, I would consider something like Rangel to Vargas and Mujica to Vasquez. Maybe even James Rodriguez to Marcel Sabitzer as well. Vargas as goalkeeper. I like Vargas as the goalkeeper. You have Shakir in. He is a differential 1.6. But Rangel, Mujica to Vargas and Vasquez would give you 2 players with scouting bonus at approximately the same price, I reckon. But I really like this team. Some really solid options mixed with a couple of differentials. I actually like Dest. Talked about him yesterday on the Q&A as well. So I need to refresh this a couple of times during the stream. So please remind me if I do forget. I need to refresh this and check the ownership. So Elvedi 4.1, Sabitzer has reached 4%, Joel Ordonez 2%, Suarez 2.5, Vargas 4.4. He was 4.2 like 20 minutes ago. No love for Kovar. The thing is that will Czechia keep that many clean sheets? Are they even favorites in match day 1 against South Korea? So they will play against South Korea in match day 1, South Africa in match day 2, Mexico in match day 3. So it's decent fixtures, I would say. This is probably the easiest group. But there are no real standout team in this group, and I think the fixtures will be kind of even. So, of course, Czechia players like Kovar and even Čufal at 3.7 could be really good options. But if you really want to cover the Czechia defense, I would definitely go for Čufal at 3.7 and on some set pieces rather than Matej Kovar. They are haram. Oh, not sure about that. I think they are a decent team in a decent group, but I think those fixtures are and those games are kind of hard to predict, and I'm not really sure about Czechia's defensive ability. So I actually started this game after the launch with Vladimir Čufal in my team, but at the moment I have no Czechia players. So my replacement for Čufal was actually Elvedi. He's currently selected by 4.1. So this is my updated team. It's on the screen. I have brought Rocher in today. So my goalkeeper combination is Vargas and Rocher. I had Crepeux, I have had Rangel as well, but both of those goalkeeper, the Canadian goalkeeper and the Mexico goalkeeper, they are getting really close to 5%. So at the moment, Rocher Vargas is my goalkeeper combination. So in defense, I have Cucurella, Elvedi 4.1%. Kimmich is in, and I have Ecuadorian defender in Joel Ordóñez. I actually had Mujica in my team, but he is getting really close to 5% as well. So I sold Mujica yesterday to bring in Ordóñez. In midfield, I have Sabitzer. My plan is to play Sabitzer this game week. Really good fixture on most set pieces for Austria. They have a tough game in match day 2, and my plan is to do Sabitzer to Rafinha ahead of match day 2. Florian Wirtz, Ulis, Musiala, I like all of those options. And up front, Kylian Mbappe, Oyarzabal. Nuno Mendes, I will start with Nuno Mendes, and I have Suarez and Bruno Fernandes, so a strong bench as well. Empty, my team might be risky, but I like it because it's a team based on teams in those weaker groups. Yeah, anything can happen, of course, in those weaker groups. I think South Africa definitely is the easiest fixture in, or the weakest team in that group. Also one I might be gatekeeping, but deserves a shout. It's Ritsu Duan. Ritsu Duan. Ritsu Duan. Haven't really considered Ritsu Duan, to be honest. Give me a minute. Ritsu Duan. Ritsu Duan, 5.1 million defender from Japan, playing against the Netherlands in match day 1. Can't really say I'm that tempted, to be honest. Ritsu Duan probably nailed on to start for Japan, but I'd rather go for a cheaper player with a better fixture, to be honest. Also, I'm sorry, what about Cancelo? Cancelo, he might be a really good option, but he might not start. He's in most predicted starting 11s, but Yeah. Look at position. He is an attacker. Is he really? Did I miss his position? Ritsuduan? Are there more Ritsuduans? So is he playing out of position? Ritsuduan from Japan. I haven't really seen much talk about Ritsuduan. Japan. Defender 5.1. Is he playing up front for Japan? Is that what you're saying? Look at position. He is an attacker. No, he is a winger at Frankfurt. Oh, yeah. So I think the same goes for the American defender Serginho Dest as well, classified as a defender in this game, but both for club and country, he usually plays a bit more advanced. And in Pochettino's system, playing with wingbacks, I think Serginho Dest probably is a better option. So Ritsuduan, I'm not really sure why he's priced at 5.1. He's like one of the most expensive defenders in the game, and I haven't seen that much talk about him, to be honest. Ritsuduan. The more I say the name, it sounds a bit familiar, but at Japan he plays wingback, yeah, so of course. But here he is more of a wingback. He might, of course, be a really good option, but I haven't really looked that much into Japan, to be honest, but I will definitely keep an eye on Ritsuduan. Which Turkish midfielder would you choose? I think I would actually go for Çalhanoğlu. I know he didn't play that many minutes in the last couple of friendlies for Turkey, but he is rumored to start. He was just rested. So I think Hakan Çalhanoğlu is the best option if you're going for a Turkish midfielder. So the thing is that he is on every set piece for Turkey, including penalties. I haven't really checked his ownership. He's probably gone above 5%. Give me a minute. 7. It's actually only 2.1. Definitely my Turkish midfielder of choice would be Hakan Çalhanoğlu. So decent fixture as well, playing against Australia. Then they have Paraguay and USA. So this is also one of the groups with no real standout favorites. So Turkey, they might do well in this group. So Çalhanoğlu, solid option. I got both Dest and Duan. If I'm gonna be risky, I do it all the way. Nice. Empty 420, going for some differentials. Dest, we have discussed Dest a couple of times. We discussed him yesterday as well. I think he is a really good option. So, but a new name is on the table, Ritsuduan from Japan. Priced at 5.1, so a bit expensive, but he will play out of position in that Japan attacking team. So definitely someone to consider. Stranger Danger, tempted by Yildiz for goals, but Çalhanoğlu does seem to have more path for points. Yeah, that's my thinking as well. So Yildiz probably a bit more attacking. So Çalhanoğlu plays a bit deeper, more touch of the ball. I think that considering the involvement in set pieces, I think Çalhanoğlu probably edges it. So Yildiz is only 7. I think the upgrade to Çalhanoğlu at 7.1 is worth it. Money doesn't matter. I have 21 in the bench. 21 million. Oh, that's a lot of funds. So do you actually have a team priced at 79 million. I'm not taking Spain defense. So do you have any particular reasoning for going against the Spain defense? They are actually the bookie's favorite both in match day 1 and match day 2 to keep a clean sheet. Nuno Mendes or Cucurella? Probably Cucurella, considering there are some slight injury doubts around Nuno Mendes. $20.8, nice. So we could go a long way without spending the 100 million budget. Of course, there are some really good picks in this game mode. I have said this a couple of times. I actually really like the pricing in this game. I really like the scouting bonus as well. Do you think Sané and Doué start and play minute? I think Sané will start. I think Doué will start, but I think they will play around 70 minutes. So the same prediction for both of them. I think they will be one of the first players to be taken off. But 70 minutes, of course, might be enough. So if I had to choose one of them, I would definitely go Sané, considering Germany's fixture against Curacao. But Doué, definitely another really good option. Below 5%, good value, playing for the team ranked as number 1 in the FIFA ranking. I also have no Spain players and tripled up on Czechia. It's a risky team. Sounds really, really risky. Triple up on Czechia with no Spain. Only true differentials picked, but at least this can work out, can give you some extra scouting bonus points, so hopefully we'll get a good start to the competition. So are you going against Brazil for match day 2 as well? Omari Carpenter, who starts for Austria? Posch or Leinhardt? Let's see. So in the predicted starting 11, both of them are actually starting. So who starts for Austria? Give me a minute and I'll check this out. Let's see. Tind posted his team as well. We will have a look at this in a minute. FPL Meerkats, let's have a look at his predictions. I really like those predictions from FPL Meerkats. It's not 100% correct, but at least it gives us something to go from. So let's see, Austria. Yeah, as expected, both of them are actually in the starting 11. So Leonhardt a bit more safe, while Posch, he is a rotation risk and he has orange circle around him. Tonight, there are a lot at stake. Tonight, can they say thanks? Well. So let's have a look at Tind's team as well. Let me know in the chats, are you still here? Hey, bud, tear my team apart or just validate my picks. I need to hear another voice on this team other than my own as I'm going in circles. So let's have a look at Tind's team. Here we go. It's Rangel in goal. Pay attention to Rangel. He's getting really close to 5% at the moment. Can you check my team from Pineapple Gym? Is this your team? Czechia must cook, so empty triple up on Czechia with no Spain. So let's have a look at this team. Rangel in goal. Pay attention to his ownership. I like Kimmich. Müller-Wolfe could be solid as well, and he will give you scouting bonus. Elvedi, currently 4.2, right? So scouting bonus for him as well, and I like Kukureya as a pick. Sabitzer is in my team as well. Last time I checked, he was 4.4, so Sabitzer, he will get really close to 5%, but hopefully he can stay below. Bruno Fernandes, Rafinha, Florian Wirtz, all good options up front. Mbappe, Oyarzabal, Rocher. The thing is that with Rocher, he might actually not start. It might be Muslera starting for Uruguay, but at the moment, considering the fact that all other decent priced goalkeepers with good fixtures, they are really close to 5%, while Rocher is below. So I think it's worth a punt going for Rocher. Sanchez, I like him. Suarez is good as well, and Diaz. So all of the players on your bench are really good to have later in match day 1. So I like this team. Pay attention to Rangel. That would be my advice. Other than that, I think this team looks good to go. So can you potentially upgrade Müller-Wolfe to Rierson if you have the available funds? I think you probably should. Monolithita Salu, sure about starting Rocher. Thoughts on Vasquez for Mexico? I think Vasquez is a decent option. I actually like Vasquez better compared to Rangel to cover the Mexico defense. I know it's 4.9 for Rangel, but goalkeepers are so tough now. Yeah, it was easier. Only yesterday it was a bit easier selecting a goalkeeper. I actually had the Canadian goalkeeper Crepe yesterday, but he is 4.9 as well. So I like this team, but I would... Oh, we had a new team posted. Let's see. Sorry about that. This is Pineapple Jim's team. Let's have a look at this as well. Wildcard in matchday 3 tactic. Erling Haaland to Mbappe in matchday 2. Havertz to a differential forward in matchday 2. And we have the 12th man on Vinny Jr. in matchday 2. I really like this tactic. So when it comes to the 12th man, it was either Erling Haaland in matchday 1 or Vinicius Jr. in matchday 2 for me as well. So I definitely like this tactic. So Widmer, he is in. Kimmich, Kukureya in defense with Galindes. So make sure to pay attention to Galindes. 4.9. I think Joel Ordonez is a better option to cover the Ecuador defense. In midfield, Rafinha, Olise, Florian Wirtz, Bruno Fernandes, all good options. And up front, Erling Haaland, Kai Havertz, and Oyarzabal. Crepe, Mujica, Joao Cancelo, and Rodriguez. So there are a lot of players in this team that will get really close to 5%. We have Galindes, Crepe, Mujica, Rodriguez. So best of luck. Hopefully at least a couple of them can stay below 5%. Other than that, if you are confident with those players, I think you should just go with this team, to be honest. So at the moment, 1 hour, 3 minutes left. Make sure to get your bench sorted. So in the Club World Cup Fantasy last season, we actually thought the deadline would be at kickoff, but the game actually locked in 1 hour before kickoff. So the deadline might actually be in 3 minutes, so I will definitely spend a minute locking my team in right now. So make sure to sort your benches, captain the player that plays on the earliest date, and bench the players that plays latest in the match day. So manage team, go for date, put all the players playing latest on your bench. So Vargas 18th of June, Rocher 16th. Rocher should definitely start. Mendes 17th of June. I have no defenders playing later than that. Suarez playing at 18th of June, and I have no players. Maybe I should just do something like that's fine. Make sure to give the captain's armband to the player playing at the earliest date as well. So my captain will be Elvedi. The reason for this is the fact that he is playing on the 13th of June. So my next captain, so my first captain will be Elvedi. My next captain will be Florian Wirtz playing on the 14th. Oyarzabal on the 15th, and I will have Mbappé. Bruno Fernandes on the 17th, and probably Suarez if all of them blanks. Alaba at centre back. He has usually played centre back for Switzerland, but it's still a solid pick considering the fact that he is on some set pieces. So 1 minute left. Please make sure to go to the app or the FIFA page, manage team, put all of the players playing latest on your bench, and make sure to give the captaincy to the player playing at the earliest date. It might actually be 38 seconds until the deadline we saw this last summer in the Club World Cup Fantasy. So the deadline was set to be on at kickoff, but the game actually locked in 1 hour before kickoff. So we might have 1 hour until deadline. We might have 20 seconds. So this will be a bit exciting. Let's see what happens in 17 seconds. Can you rate my team? GOAT, definitely Edwix. I will have you posted on X. I will head over there and have a look at your team. I had Crepe back when he was 2%. I actually had Crepe when he was selected by 0.5%, so I definitely get the feeling. Comedy Central. Orange Chapel, thanks for joining in. Hey bro, Luis Suarez and Musiala, or Luis Diaz and Kai Havertz. Ooh. Oh, Luis Suarez and Musiala, or Luis Diaz and Kai Havertz. I think if you don't, so Luis Suarez and Musiala is cheaper, right? Compared to Luis Diaz and Kai Havertz. I don't really have all the player prices in my head, but Suarez is 5.7, Musiala is 8. I think that in isolation, Luis Diaz, Kai Havertz is the best combination. The reason why I have Luis Suarez and Musiala is the fact that this gives me enough funds available to upgrade Sabitzer to Rafinha next game week. So for me, Luis Suarez, he's kind of an enabler, letting me have enough funds available for my Sabitzer to Rafinha upgrade. But in isolation, Luis Diaz and Havertz is probably the better combination. Although they are a bit more expensive, of course. Will Ordonez start? At least he's in most of the predicted lineups for Ecuador. And Bosnian, I'm definitely not going for Crepe. Bosnia is definitely scoring in that game. Trust me, our attack is way too good for Canada not to score a goal. Orange Apple, yes. Do you agree, Orange Apple? I think Kai Havertz is a really good option. I haven't really found a spot for him in my team. Virat Kohli, centre back. Yeah, I think Alba will play centre back for Austria. I sent it on Twitter. Nice, Edwix. Let's have a look. So the team is not locked, right? We have another 58 minutes. Yes, transfers open. The deadline is in 58 minutes. So the reason why I have stressed a bit about the deadline is the fact that last summer for the Club World Cup Fantasy, it actually said that the deadline would be at kickoff, but the game locked in 1 hour before. Orange Apple, does Havertz have any rotation risk? That's my only reason to maybe go for Musiala. So I think Musiala is more secure on minutes. I think Sané, Havertz will be the two first players to be subbed off. So Foltmade is in that squad as well. What's the other forward for Germany? Is it like Undav? Teams Germany. Position forwards. Yeah. So Kai Havertz, they have Nick Foltmade, Undav, and Maximilian Bayer as well. Solid player, but don't really expect him to play that much. So we know that in midfield, Lennart Karl, he was actually expected to start, but considering his injury, I think Sané will start. Isn't Karl... So is he like out of the squad? I can't really find Lennart Karl in as an available pick at all. So did Lennart Karl withdraw from the squads? I thought he was just out for match day 1 and match day 2. But however, I think that Sané is a decent option considering the fixture. You have Ordonez. Is he scouts? Yeah, he will get scouting bonus. Let's have a look at, and let's update this as well to see if there are any changes to ownership. So at the moment, Elvedi 4.2, Joel Ordonez only selected by 2.5. He will definitely stay above 5%. Vargas 4.5. Hopefully he can stay below Elvedi 4.2. Sabitzer 4.1. It hasn't really moved that much in the last 30 minutes. So hopefully Rocher, Elvedi, Ordonez, Sabitzer, Vargas, and Suarez will stay below 5%. So I actually have 6 players selected by below 5% of the managers at the moment. But let's have a look at Edvig's team. Need to update this as well. So I can't seem to find your team. Sorry about that. So Edvix, please try posting once more, as I actually can't find your team. Anyway, something proud goat posted his team. So if you're still in the chat, this was like 42 minutes ago. I'm really sorry I missed this one, but let's have a quick look at your team. Rangel in goal, captain makes sense, captaining the player playing in the opening fixture. Cucurella, Serginho, Dest, Kimmich, Estupinian, all solid options. I really like Dest, to be honest, so if you need a new defender, I think that Serginho Dest could be a really good option. So Ulis, Casemiro, not really a big fan of Casemiro, but yeah. I think if I would go for a Brazil midfielder, it would probably be Rafinha, but Casemiro, of course, a threat at set pieces. Brian Wirtz in Nusa, another scouting bonus player, and up front, solid options in Oyarzabal and Erling Haaland. Mbappe on the bench, Mujica and Bruno Fernandes. So pay attention to Rangel, pay attention to Galindes, pay attention to Mujica. If you have selected those players because of the scouting bonus, you might be disappointed. So let's see if the team is posted. Let's check under the actual posts. So this is from Tind. This was 31 minutes ago. 37 from Red or Dead. Pineapple Jim, 13 minutes ago. Maybe it's under here. Sorry about that. I'm not really sure, but your tweet was like hidden. Sorry about that, Edwix. You actually posted 8 minutes ago. So Musiala, Florian Wirtz to Rafinha and Doué. So this is like your planned match day 2 transfers, right? I would definitely go Florian Wirtz and Musiala this game week. So Angus Gunn, Ingle, Galindes as well. So the thing is that when it comes to Scotland and their goalkeeper situation, Gunn, he might start, but it might actually be Gordon as well. So is it really worth it going for goalkeepers that we're not really sure will start? But if you have some sources saying that Gunn will start, then go ahead. Kimmich, Müller-Wolfe, I would go Ryerson. He's on some set pieces for Norway. Both of them are solid, but my vote would go to Julian Ryerson, the Dortmund right back. Joel Ordonez, I really like him. I have him in as well, only selected by 2.1%, so he will get scouting bonus. So Bruno Fernandes, Florian Wirtz, Musiala, Vinicius Jr., all good options. We have Mbappe, Oyarzabal, and actually Cristiano Ronaldo. Haven't seen that much of him, but considering Portugal's fixtures, he might be a really good option. Galindes, Mujica, both of them getting really close to 5%, so keep an eye on this. I think Laporte is a solid option, but my preferred option would actually be Kubarsi. We have James Rodriguez. So there are some players in this team getting really close to 5% at the moment. So Galindes, the goalkeeper, I think is 4.9. Same goes for Mujica, and the same goes for James Rodriguez as well. So as mentioned, they are really good options, but if you're expecting them to be below 5%, you might be disappointed and you might want to go for someone else. Is Joe Ordonez a starter or not? He is expected to start for Ecuador, at least. That's what we are expecting. No scouting bonus on Laporte. I'm gonna go Kubarsi or Cucurella. So definitely, if Laporte is selected by above 5%, I would definitely go for Kubarsi or Cucurella. If Laporte was like 3.5%, I would say just go for him, but Orange Apple currently on a walk, so won't be chatting, but will be listening in the background. Nice. Really thankful for everyone joining in. So keep sending questions. So it's 48 minutes until the deadline. Please make sure to give the stream a like. That will be really helpful, helping with the reach, and it's really appreciated. So Let's see. If you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to X, post a picture under my latest post, and we'll get your team up on the screen. But let's have a look at. So I got a DM earlier today with a tip that there will be like a live tracker of live ownership tracker. So let's see if I can find this. How do I actually access that site? Maybe there we go. So there are at the moment, hopefully you can see this. At the moment, there are 1,181 players available for the scouting bonus. Live activity. Let's see if I can fit this into the screen. Is that... So there are this page called Solio Analytics. They are actually keeping track of live updates on players getting close to 5%, and it will tell us if they go above or if they stay below 5%. So Raul Rangel, the Mexican goalkeeper, he is no longer bonus eligible. James Rodriguez, no longer bonus eligible. Laporte, 4.925, so no bonus points for Laporte. James Rodriguez has actually gone up and down. Martin Odegaard as well. Saka. Christian Romero, the Argentina centre back. Josko Guardiola. I think this is kind of cool, but I'm not sure how helpful this will be, to be honest. I'm not really sure how live it actually is, but it looks like it updates fairly often. Which site is this? Give me a minute and I will post a link in the chat. It's called World Cup Fantasy Scouting at solioanalytics.com. So hopefully I'm not breaking any rules by posting this link, but yeah, let's try. Israel Reyes, defender, 0.4 owned starter for Mexico. I definitely would go for a Mexican defender rather than the Mexican goalkeeper, to be honest, considering the fact that he most probably will go above 5%. So my preferred option would probably be Vasquez, but this is probably due to the fact that this is the player that I have looked at. But of course, if there are any other nailed on options, like a 0.4% owned Israel Reyes, then definitely go for him. Would you do Mujica and Elvedi to Mellewolfe and Ordonez? I'm not that convinced by Mellewolfe, to be honest. I think Mujica to Ordonez, yes, I actually did this exact move yesterday. Elvedi, I would probably just keep him considering Switzerland's fixtures, and if you want to target the Norwegian defense, I think Julian Rearson is definitely the player to target. So he's taking corners, sharing corner duties with Martin Ødegaard, so I would definitely go for Ryerson ahead of Wolfe. Pietro, read the rules. You can change captain after every game. So this is a message in the chat I probably missed. So Pietro Michelotti, how do captains work? Can I change my captain during the match week, or should I keep it the same on the same player the whole week based on who I think will score the most points? So my advice when it comes to captaincy is to captain the player that plays earliest in your team. So if you have any Mexican players or South African players, you should definitely captain them, because if they blank, you can just change your captaincy, and you can do this multiple times during a match day. So hopefully that was a good answer. FPL FOMO, Rangel 5.1. I would definitely, if you want to cover the Mexican defense, I would definitely go for a defender rather than Rangel. So it would be really, really annoying targeting a player for the scouting bonus only to see them go above in the last couple of minutes. Rangel is no longer bonus liable, so FPL FOMO with an update before Solio Analytics. So Aymeric Laporte, he's going up and down. James Rodriguez, no bonus for him as well. So if you're interested in keeping track on this for yourself, you can head over to World Cup Fantasy Scouting at solioanalytics.com. I posted a link in the chat as well, so I will have this available up there. So I just want to refresh to make sure there are no changes in the ownership of my own players selected. So at the moment, let's see. How many scouting bonus players I have at the moment. So Rocher, my goalkeeper, 4.2. Vargas is getting really close, 4.5 at the moment. Elvedi 4.2, so I think he is safe. I think he will stay below 5%. Joel Ordonis will definitely not go above 5%. He's 2.1 at the moment. Sabitzer 4.1, haven't really changed that much, and Suarez is 2.4. So Rocher, Ordonez, Elvedi, Sabitzer, Vargas, and Suarez for me, 6 out of 15 players with potential scouting bonus. I'm just ignoring scouting bonus players unless I think they will score points. So definitely, I have talked about this yesterday as well. So you need to select players because they have good fixtures and play for solid teams, not only because they are selected by below 5%. So the combination of solid team, solid fixture, and good ownership, of course, this is what we want. But I would not go for a player solely just to get the scouting bonus. So remember that scouting bonus, they have to score 4 points or more for the scouting bonus to be activated as well. So it's not like they will get 2 extra points only because they are selected by 5% or less. Sabitzer or McTominay or Pulisic, definitely it will be between Sabitzer and McTominay. Considering the ownership in situations like this, I would go for the player selected by below 5%. So I would say Sabitzer, McTominay, and then Pulisic. Luca Di Gabriel, any changes? Crepeux in goal with Vargas, Ordonez, Elvedi, Kimmich, Mendes, and Mujica. In midfield, Florian Wirtz, James Rodriguez, Bruno, Xhaka, Rafinha. Up front, Mbappe, Haaland, Oyarzabal. Are there any players that I can target now for a scouting bonus? So At least in this team, there are some players that will most probably miss out on the scouting bonus. Krippe will most probably go and reach 5%. Vargas will hopefully stay below his 4.5 at the moment, but Krippe is 4.9, so he might go past the 5% threshold. James Rodriguez is close to 5% as well, so pay attention to this. I haven't really checked Granit Xhaka's ownership. Give me a minute. $4.6. He's probably fine. Granit Xhaka, 4.6. I think he will stay below 5% on some set pieces for Switzerland. So I think your team looks really good. I think I would go for another goalkeeper. I think I would go for another defender as well. So if you want to cover the Colombian defense, I would go for Vargas, the Colombian goalkeeper. If you want to cover the Canadian defense, I would go for someone else rather than Crepe. So with this team, I would go Vargas in goal with maybe a punt on a Canadian defender. I haven't really checked the ownership, but 4.3. Yes, Alphonso Davies only selected by 4.3. I would definitely go Alphonso Davies Vargas instead of Crepe and Mujica. Thoughts on Vasquez? I think Vasquez is a solid option. If you want to cover the Mexican defense, I would go Vasquez rather than Rangel. Who should I change? Crepe. If he goes above 5, I think... So, in the chat, we had a Mexican defender selected by like 0.3 that was expected to start. I don't really remember his name. So it's like 20 minutes ago, so it's probably too much of a job scrolling in the chat, but there might be other Mexican defenders available as well. But Vasquez, definitely a starter for Mexico, and let's check his ownership to be sure he's below 5%. So priced at 4.7 and only selected by 3.7. So yeah, a bit more expensive compared to Vargas, but yeah, I think Vasquez is a solid option. So if you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to X, post a picture of your team selection under my latest post. It's the same handle as on YouTube. It's at FPLTFS. Is Estepinian nailed on to start? At least he is expected to start. So let's have a quick look. This is England, Portugal. So Cancelo, he is expected to start, but he is actually orange, so 60% chance of a start. Vasquez, Gallardo, Montes, Sanchez. So maybe this was the one mentioned in the chat, Sanchez, the 0.2. Definitely not that nail on. He has a red circle, and that's below 60%. Serginho Dest could be another option, playing right wing for the USA. Uruguay, Jimenez, he is expected to start. Rocher might actually not start. He might be. This was the reason I actually started in my first draft. I had Rocher. I changed him to Crepeur because of the rumors about Muslera starting, but I have gone back to Rocher after Crepeur reaching 5%. So Elvedi, Widmer should probably start. Turkey, Cardioglu, he will start. Ecuador. So Estepinian, this is what I thought. He actually has an orange circle around him. Ordonez, he has a yellow circle, so probably a bit more safe. But I like Ordonez considering the value. Estepinian at that price, he has some competition for his spot, so he might be a really good option. Of course, it's really hard to say with certainty if he will start or not. Do you think it's important to prioritize early fixtures so that you can remove them or hold them if they do well? Don't want to get stuck with a lot of guys on the last day. So my plan is to actually use my wildcard in match day 3. So I'm definitely targeting the fixtures in match day 1 and match day 2. Let's have a look at the fixtures. So this is the fixture list for the group stage, and we can see that there are a lot of teams with really good games in match day 1 and match day 2. And we can see that there are teams that have a tough start to the competition, but have definitely their easiest fixture in match day 3. So my plan is to target the teams like Switzerland, Portugal, Colombia, Uruguay, Ecuador, Mexico. I don't really have any Mexico players at the moment, but they have a good fixture in match day 1. So I have targeted the teams at the top of this table. In match day 3 on my wildcard, I will target the teams from mid-table and down. So on my match day 3 wildcard, I will target South Korea, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Croatia, Belgium, Morocco, Netherlands, and England as well. You're running 12th man on Erling Haaland in match day 1. Yes, I actually do. So let's have a quick look at the poll as well. Match day 1, 39%. Match day 2, 45%. So match day 2 is actually the favorite in this poll. Most of the managers that have voted in this poll will go for a match day 2 12th man. It will probably be a Brazil player, maybe even Harry Kane. So tough game for England in match day 1 playing against Croatia, but in match day 2 they have a lovely game against Ghana. So Harry Kane might be a really good option for a 12th man in match day 2. Can you show us the predicted 11 for USA? Definitely. Give me a minute. Just need to get this fixture list down. Let's head back to X. Predicted starting 11 for the USA. This is a shout out to FPL Meerkat on X. Usually post those for FPL as well, so it's not 100% correct every game week, but at least it gives us something to go from. So did I actually scroll past the USA? Yes, I did. So this is the predicted starting 11 for the USA. So Balogun up top, Pulisic, McKennie. And they will go for a 3-5, 3-4-3. And we know this is Pochettino, right, coaching this team. So we know they will play with 3 center backs and really attacking wing backs. So Robinson, the Fulham left back, he will start, and Serginho Dest will most probably play on the right. Tillman, Adams in midfield, Tim Ream, Richards, and Freeman in defense. Frankie Shankly starting Mexican defender. Reyes cost only 4 million and only 0.5%. So this was probably the player mentioned in the chat 20 minutes ago. Let's have a look at this predicted starting 11 for Mexico as well. So here we go. No Reyes in this prediction, at least. I'm not saying this is 100% correct, but starting Mexican defender Reyes cost only 4.0. But according to this prediction, it's Gallardo, Vasquez, Montes with Sanchez on right back. In midfield, Fidalgo, Lira, Gutierrez, Alvarado, Raul Jimenez, and Quinones on the left wing. Is Dest worth the punt? I would say yes. I discussed him yesterday as well. I think he definitely can be a good punt. So we know this is Pochettino coaching USA, and we know that he really likes to utilize his wing back. So Serginho Dest, definitely a solid option. Confirmed starting defender. So do you know for certainty that this Reyes definitely will start for Mexico? It's probably right back instead of Sanchez, right? Reyes is starting. Lineups are out already. My bad. Of course, it's only 25 minutes. So what is the confirmed team? My bad, everyone. Of course, the game is like 26 minutes away. Let's have a look at the confirmed starting 11 for Mexico instead of looking at the predictions. Just need to refresh this. So Rangel, he will start in goal. We have Montes, Vasquez, Reyes, and Gallardo, Lira, Fidalgo, Gutierrez, Alvarado, Quinones, and Raul Jimenez. So definitely Jimenez and Quinones, they will change positions, but it was really close to the predicted starting 11 from FPL Meerkat, but let's see, confirmed. Oh, right. I have actually forgotten to look at my own team. Let's have a look at the ownership of my players. This is my team at the moment. Sir Burnt Peanuts from my own country. And the confirmed VM Fantasylag. Nice. So this is my team. Let's see if we can get the whole team in the picture. There we go. So Erling Haaland in the left top corner. He is my 12th man for match day 1. I really like the fixture against Iraq. So definitely one to target if you're playing your 12th man. What I like about the 12th man is to just like go for a really expensive player with a good fixture. And I think it makes sense having Erling Haaland because I would rather have France player playing against Senegal rather than a Norwegian player against Senegal. So France definitely the strongest team. They have better chances against Senegal. We might actually see Norway struggle against them in match day 2. So Erling Haaland against Iraq. I have Rocher in goal and I have Vargas. Both of them looks likely to stay below 5%. So at the moment, Rocher, he is 4.2, Vargas is 4.5. With only 23 minutes left, hopefully they can stay well below. Kukurea is in Kimmich as well, and have 2 other scouting bonus players in Elvedi and Ordonez. Sabitzer 4.1, another scouting bonus player. Really good fixture for Austria playing against Jordan in match day 1, and he is on most set pieces for Austria. I have Florian Wirtz, Ulis, Musiala, so double Germany attack against Curacao. Up front, Kylian Mbappe, Oyarzabal, and on the bench, as mentioned, Vargas, Mendes, Suarez, and Bruno Fernandes. So if you want to target the Mexico defense, I would definitely sell Rangel and bring in the confirmed starter in defense, Reyes, at only 4 million and 0.5 selected. So let's have a look at that live count of the percentages as well. We'll give this an update. Rangel is no longer bonus eligible. This is the latest update on Raul Rangel, the Mexican goalkeeper. Laporte is 5%, Rangel 5.1. James Rodriguez, no bonus for him, but this goes, as you can see, up and down. So I will give my team a couple of updates. Sabitzer 4.1, he will stay below. So the player I'm a bit worried about is Vargas, but 4.5 with only 20 minutes left. Hopefully this is enough. Sigfridur Jensen, Rocher playing for Uruguay. Hopefully Rocher is playing for Uruguay. There is some rumors about Muslera starting, and this was actually enough for me to sell Rocher. So I had Rocher in my first draft, sold him after the Muslera rumors and brought in the Canadian goalkeeper Crepeux, but after Crepeux reached 5% ownership, I went back to Rocher. So if Rocher is not starting, I will have Vargas as my backup goalkeeper. So at that price, I think it's actually worth taking a punt on Rocher, to be honest. So he might not start, but you have the option to just change your goalkeeper. So at that price, I think Rocher is worth a punt. Only selected by 4.2, so he might be a really good asset. So we had a look at a couple of predictions on X. Let's see. Let's check out the latest prediction for Uruguay. It has Rocher in goal. It's an orange circle around it, and this is, of course, because of the rumors about Muslera starting as well. I feel a bit stupid for like looking at the predicted Mexican starting 11 while the official matchday 1 team against South Africa actually was confirmed. But please make sure to give the stream a like if you haven't done so already. That would be really, really helpful. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I do streams like this. I will do streams like this ahead of every match day, and I do Q&As and live streams for FPL as well. So if you're interested, please subscribe to the channel. It's also possible to become a member of this channel if you want to support it. We'll give access to the new Discord server, and you will get a custom badge in the chat as well. Sigfridur Jensen, okay, Angus, Gunn and Vargas as goalkeepers, is this any good? Thinking Angus plays for Scotland and could get the clean sheet against Haiti, plus he is super cheap. My only worry when it comes to Angus Gunn is the fact that there are some rumors about Gordon starting, so let's have a look at the prediction for Scotland as well. So, of course, this might not be 100% correct, but let's just check. Germany, Belgium, Morocco, the Netherlands, France, Portugal, England, Argentina, Spain. So we need to go further down. Sorry about the scrolling, but let's see if we can find Scotland. So, of course, they are at the bottom. Did I scroll past the Scotland prediction? Or is it just no Scotland prediction in this thread? Probably not, but I have seen other team predictions, some with Angus Gunn, some with Gordon. But seeing that you have another nailed on goalkeeper, Vargas, the Colombian goalkeeper, I think it's worth taking a punt on Angus Gunn. So especially if you think that Scotland will do well, I would say just go for it. A bit strange that there are no Scotland team. Maybe this is not all of the teams. Thanks for the help, mate. No worries and best of luck for match day 1. As mentioned, I think that Gunn plus Vargas is a solid combination for the group stage. So at the moment, my goalkeeper combination is Rocher and Vargas. In defense, I have Cucurella, I have Elvedi, Kimmich and Ordonez. In midfield, Sabitzer, Florian Wirtz, Ulis and Musiala. Up front, Kylian, Mbappe and Oyarzabal. As mentioned, Vargas on my bench with Nuno Mendes, Suarez and Bruno Fernandes. So I will give this an update just to make sure that the players are still selected by below 5%. So Rocher 4.2, Elvedi 4.2, Ordonez 2.1, so they are good. In midfield, Sabitzer 4.1, Vargas 4.5, and Suarez 2.4. So all of those players will stay below 5%. And I think all of them are solid options for match day 1. My 12th man is active, it's on Erling Haaland. My chip strategy is to play my 12th man obviously in match day 1. I will use my wildcard in match day 3 and qualification booster in the first round of the knockout stages, and my maximum captain in the final. I have made a video on this. If you want more explanation, it's linked in the description down below. Stuck between Sabitzer and McTominay. So I think what my plan is to start with Sabitzer and sell Sabitzer in match day 2. So if you haven't planned your 2 transfers ahead of match day 2, I think it really makes sense starting with Sabitzer and selling him to a Brazil midfielder in match day 2. So Sabitzer, he has a tough game in match day 2 playing against Argentina, and I don't really like Brazil for match day 1. I think the fixture against Morocco is kind of tough. So my strategy is to start with Sabitzer and bring in Rafinha ahead of match day 2. If you can do this, I would definitely go for Sabitzer. But on the other hand, if you have already pre-planned your 2 free transfers, I think McTominay probably is the best option. So let's have a quick look at the fixtures for Scotland. McTominay. Oh, I haven't really checked McTominay's ownership, but it's actually 10.9. Good fixture against Haiti in match day 1, tough game in match day 2, tough game in match day 3. I would definitely, after giving this a second thought, I would definitely go for Sabitzer, to be honest. So Sabitzer can get scouting bonus, and you have to sell Scott. You should at least sell Scott McTominay ahead of match day 2 either way. So Sabitzer against Scott McTominay. My final answer is Sabitzer. Is Olmo an option? Yes. I think Olmo is decent, to be honest, and he is in most predicted starting 11s for Spain as well. But he's like one of those players that will be substituted early. Alphonso Davies, I like Alphonso Davies. I think he's only selected by 2.1%, so he will get scouting bonus. He's also on set pieces as well for Canada. So I definitely will go Alphonso Davies rather than Crepeux, the goalkeeper. So I actually had Crepeux while going into this stream. Crepeux, he was my goalkeeper, but after seeing him reach 5%, I have sold him, and my goalkeeper combination at the moment is Rocher and Vargas. It's only 9 minutes left, so it's time to lock in our teams. You might actually see the page crash, so make sure to start the players that will play at the earliest dates, put the players on the bench that plays latest in the match day, and make sure to give the captain's armband to the player that will play in the first fixture in your team. So my captain at the moment is Elvedi, and this is only because Switzerland, they are playing first. So let's have a look at the fixtures like this. So Elvedi on the 13th of June, he will play. He is actually my only player playing at that date, so it definitely makes sense to give him the captain's armband. It will be on Florian Wirtz if Elvedi fails. I think Elvedi, if Switzerland keep a clean sheet, if Elvedi gets 6 points, I would definitely just switch the captaincy and not stick with 6 points. I have a lot of other options, so early in the match day, 6 points, it's not enough to stick with the captaincy. When it's just, I think if you only have like 2 or 3 captain options left, 6 to 8 points is probably enough to stick. So I got a question in the comments on one of my videos. At how many points would it take for you to stick with the captaincy? I think this is kind of hard to answer because it kind of depends who do you have on the bench and how far are we into the match day. So early in the match day, I think that 10 plus probably is what it would take for me to stick with the captaincy. Later in the match day, maybe 6 to 8 points is enough to stick with the captaincy. And as mentioned, it depends. If you have players like Bruno Fernandes on the bench on the 17th, maybe you have like a Luis Diaz from Colombia, I would definitely try them as well. Luis Diaz or Doku, I think I would go for Luis Diaz, to be honest. So he's a really good captain option late on in the match day as well. So Luis Diaz definitely is a really good asset. I haven't really found a spot for him in my team. I have a double up on Colombia, but I have the goalkeeper Vargas and their number 9 Suarez. What I like about Suarez is the fact that he's only priced at 5.7, and this lets me upgrade in other areas of my team. So 6 minutes left until the deadline. Hopefully the site will not crash. My advice is to lock your team. Make sure to get your benching order right, and make sure to give the captain's armband to the player playing at the earliest date. So Luis Diaz would be my preferred option, but I think that Doku is a good option as well. I haven't really checked their ownership, but I think Luis Diaz is well above 5%, and Jeremy Doku, give me a minute. Doku, he is selected by, yeah, is well past 5% as well. So yeah, Luis Diaz would definitely be my preferred option, even though he's a bit more expensive. So I think my team is locked, only 5 minutes left. This is where I'm at the moment. Let's see if I can get this in like that. Four minutes left. So in the poll, when will you play your 12th man? My 12th man is active. The reason why I have gone with Erling Haaland is the fact that Norway fixture against Iraq is really, really good. I don't really fancy Norway against Senegal in match day 2, definitely not against France in match day 3. So by playing the 12th man, I will have Erling Haaland for Norway's best fixture, and I will not own him for their 2 tough games against Senegal and France. Other good captain options, 12th man options, is Kai Havertz match day 1. I also like taking a punt on Brazil midfielders in match day 2. So if I hadn't played my 12th man this game week, it would have been Vinicius Jr. in match day 2. Possibly Harry Kane for match day 2 as well. Could be another solid option. So match day 2, 12th man is the most popular option. 48% for match day 2, 38% for match day 1, and only 13% for later, not decided yet. Hi, Chris here. Hi, thanks for joining in. Are you locked in? Only 3 minutes left. Make sure to lock your team in, Chris. We had a look at Chris' team yesterday. Looked really, really good. Have you made any changes? Do you have any last minute questions? And this is really last minute questions. It's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the deadline. So with 2 minutes left, please make sure to give the stream a like. That would be really, really helpful with the reach and stuff like that. So appreciate the support. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get notifications on streams like this later in the competition. And I will have deadline streams and Q&As when the new FPL season starts in August as well. It's also possible to become a channel member. The link is in the description down below. This will give access to the Discord FPL channel as well. Is Yamal confirmed playing, and does any top players have any issues? Yamal is not confirmed to start, so like 2 weeks ago he was an injury doubt. We got some reports that he was getting close to a return, but it was only like 4 days ago we got new reports about Yamal that he probably will miss match day 1 and match day 2. Yes, I made changes, brought James back and went for Oliveira for defenders. Yeah, good options. James Rodriguez, I haven't really checked, but he's probably above 5%. Or did he actually manage to stay below 5%? So it's only 20 seconds left until the deadline. Please, if you haven't done so, please go and check your team. Make sure to put the players that play latest in the match day on your bench and confirm your team. Will Llorente start for Spain? He's one of the rotation risks. I would go for Kubarsi if you want the most nailed Spain defender. So Llorente, he will get competition from Pedro Porro. So I wouldn't say that he is nailed. So Frank Golding, thanks for joining in. So this advice, not really sure how helpful that was, because the deadline has actually passed. Teams have to be locked in. Frankie Shankly, good luck, folks. Thanks all for joining in. Best of luck for match day 1. Thanks all for joining in on this stream, and thanks for all your questions. So I will have a similar stream like this ahead of match day 2 as well. So if you already haven't subscribed to the channel, please do if you're interested in joining the next one as well. So hopefully we will get a lot of points in match day 1, and hopefully we can brag about our match day 1 scores on the next stream. Yeah, I just gamble with him now. So we have Llorente in, so he's like 50-50 touch and go. Like 2 weeks ago, Pedro Porro, he was rumored to start, but we had other reports after the friendlies from the Spain camp that Llorente probably will start, but I think it's really close. So hopefully Llorente will start, and hopefully Frank Golding will get some point from the Spanish defender. We live, thanks a lot from Chris. That's really, really appreciated. Adam Chapa, good luck, mate. Likewise, best of luck. So I will try to watch as many games in World Cup as I possibly can, but the time zone is not the best for my region, to be honest. Living in Norway, there are some really late games and some games really early in the morning as well. But I will try to watch as many games, and I will definitely stay up for those interesting games, and I will definitely watch the games that have fantasy assets involved in. So we'll definitely watch Mexico, South Africa tonight. So best of luck to everyone. Thanks for joining in, and hopefully I'll see you next time.